And we are back after this very short break. I think we yapped a bit too much about that previous game, but man, what a game it was. Rely on taking that win against all odds. Wow, wow, wow.
Crazy game, definitely.
Absolutely. And I think we will have a short time until the champ select. We'll have Hitmonli against Snooze Esports. Before we get to that, I think now is maybe a good time to quickly go over second division results because quite a few games were played yesterday and streamed by our dear friends at Nocturnal Esports. If you'd like to follow it, give them a follow on Twitch as well because they stream and cast those. That's very interesting. But maybe you can take a look at the leaderboard, see how Division 2 is going, how it's looking, because we had a few results, but now it's starting to shape up a little more. We have a few more games. With Nocturnal Esports and Play 2 standing at 1-1 along with Kate or FF on the first spot. Rift Riders also 1 win, 0 losses, Union des Ombres as well. And FC Fumble closing down the dance along with Dutch Community Team with 0 and 2 losses respectively. And you might think, oh, why is it so weird? Why did one team play 0 matches? In Division 2 they don't have set game days, they just set them as teams, they know the matchups, they decide who plays when. So they're not necessarily all played at the start of the week, some later, some earlier, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and it's just cool to have a Division 2, of course. And later on, I mean, much later on, there will even be a relegation system, of course. So we have even like maybe a newcomer then in Division 1 later on. I mean, who knows? Can always happen.
Lots of things can always happen. Now, Hitmonli versus Snooze. Should be a very interesting matchup. These are two of the teams, along with Reliant, with Luxembourgish players in their rosters with local players.
Yep.
And we saw Hitmonli's interview video, not yesterday, but Tuesday. And they called out Frankie very specifically on the mid lane.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. It was originally aimed at Reich, but then they were informed that Reich was replaced by Frankie in this for this season, and they were like, okay, then it's for you, Frankie. Be careful. Blijf Malji on the mid lane. So a really good player. It's also well known here in Luxembourg. Has been along with the PM for quite a while as well.
Yeah.
I think way back when season 2 he was there already. So that's going to be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, and it's just and it's cool to see just having those Luxembourg players, of course, because of course the whole tournament is with like the greater region, so it's cool to have those Benelux players in total. But this Luxembourgish talent from your own country basically is just cool to have in the tournament as well, especially because it's a Luxembourg tournament, and yeah. And there was friendly banter, so I hope that Live G is playing today. Last game was played with Unreal, so hopefully today is Live G. Then he talked trash about Frankie, so hopefully Frankie shows him how good he is.
I'll take a look, but actually now I think, no, too bad, missing his opportunity. It is I'm Unreal again today. I just decided to check the roster looks for the week, and they locked him for Tuesday and Thursday.
That's really sad.
Maybe he's a bit afraid. He needs to prepare some more. He's going to be training in solo queue for this first week to make sure he can really show them.
Yeah, but I mean, I liked I'm Unreal. I think his Vel'Koz was clean, actually. I mean, they lost the game, but especially those Vel'Koz players. I mean, it's crazy to think about, but we have two Vel'Koz players, like who plays Vel'Koz, and then there are two of them, right? And we have even two top laners who spam Darius, right? So we have those overlapping champion pools, basically. With champions you never see too many, right? So that's really crazy that they are just the same preferences, basically. And I think the matchup, especially after Snooze winning against the Infernal Wolves, should be like the same story like I wanted to told with Royal Ferret against Relion. That there is a clear favorite. There is a clear favorite, But like I said, the clear favorite was Relion, and they actually did done it. So I don't want to say that Hitmonli is the clear underdog, but I think especially Snooze beating Infernal Wolves kind of give them the favorite position right now.
Mhm. I think if we can learn something from today, it's that I'm gonna go all in on Hitmonli if I were to do any bets, which we're of course not doing. But seems like today is a favorable day for the underdogs, so we'll see how they handle that as we're headed into the Champ Select for the third game of tonight.
Yeah, and it's a Fiddlesticks ban. Of course, makes sense. We have the good old kinetic Fiddlesticks, so definitely a good ban against them. And depending on Kalista now also getting hit by Hitmonli. And that's quite funny because they just I think Soldier Boy actually had a good game. And then they kind of got 2v1 to 2-2 for 0 in the 2v2 after the lane swap and stuff. So I think Soldier Boy needs to prove him today, but not with the Kalista, sadly. And but still, it's an interesting matchup between like two Luxembourgish ADCs basically, which we probably will never see again besides the rematch.
Yeah, and I think Hitmonli did an interview video. They did say put a lot of emphasis on their bot side, so they're very confident in that bot side as well. Overall, so that's going to be an interesting matchup to see.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a Maokai already. Hitmonli's top laner, I think Yorick Ovens back in the day. Or maybe he still is. He's a Maokai player actually, but Maokai also is just a trade flex pick, jungle, support, top lane. So everything is possible basically. And on the other side, there's a Diana. So usually with Diana, Yasuo is on the table. I just like Diana Yasuo actually. But there's also like just 80 mids now get instantly better because you want to split AP 80. There's also the opportunity to play AP Diana mid lane, or just Diana mid lane, of course. You don't need to swap her in the jungle, but most of the time at least she is used in the jungle. And yeah, we have already like 3 champions who just want to go in melee, ult, whatever, and just clashing each other.
And I think Nautilus is also a really good setup for Yasuo, for example. So you already have 2 champions that could do that really, really well. You did mention the Yasuo earlier. Is it a champion that I don't think I've seen Frankie play Yasuo though ever? Now that I think back, even his LoL days.
I don't think that they was. He plays Jace and he plays Yone, so he has 80 options. I don't know if he played Yasuo game. I would have said no, but who knows? But Yone is pretty strong with Diana also, and Jace is pretty strong in the meta right now anyway. So both can be used. And Azir now got locked in for Hitmonli for the good old I'm Unreal.
They're still keeping the mystery about what that Maokai is really going to be.
Yeah.
There's still lots of options, so they keep a lot of flexibility, and that's going to be it's a bit tough always, because what are you going to ban, what are you going to prepare in terms of picks, always gets a bit more complicated with such a strong flex pick.
That's true. Oh, I would have liked the Yone, to be honest. It was well set up. Well, because there's like, especially in really high pro play, like Yone is a really good counter pick into Azir. You can never sideline against him. You can not really play the lane anyway against him. So Yone is really annoying. You have Diana Yone. You have an AD champion with an AP champion. Like, so many reasons spoke for Yone. He's a Yone player. But no. Picking Mel, I guess. It makes me kind of sad because it was the perfect opportunity. Now they need 80 on ADC and on top lane, of course. Otherwise, they are full AP. So they still need to handle that. Rel gets knocked out. I think that's a really good ban against the support of Hitmonli. He is a crazy good Rel player. Like over 70% win rate, like over 5 KDA. So this dude on rail is a threat, and so they ban it out. And Camille, so it could lead to maybe tank top lane if they want to ban out Camille.
Yeah, because Gwendon also wouldn't be much of an option because they already have so much AP. Camille also being one of those champions that Rikuzi is really strong on, I think that plays right into his hands as one of those, split pushy players a bit. Leaves open something like a Fiora, which he's really comfortable on. That is really dangerous as an AD champion as well.
Yeah. I mean, banning those engaged supports could mean that you want to play a squishy support maybe, or that you want to play like, I don't know. I know that they already have Nautilus. What am I talking about? But the Fiora means that they definitely want to play a tank top lane on the other side. So it could be Maokai top lane just to keep him a little bit safe. But of course, there are plenty of good champions into tanks. So I think that Rakuzi will have something, and they still wait with top lane pick, which makes sense. There's still the Flicks pick on the other side. And Caitlyn now, with Mel, you have lots of range against lots of range. So Ezreal, Azir, Mel, Caitlyn all kinda have high range. So they can both, at the moment, can even play front to back. Because you have Diana, Nautilus frontline, you have Maokai frontline. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just see 2 front to back team comps just fighting it over and over again. And now they need to show where the Maokai goes. And at the moment, it's still top lane. And oh no, it's jungle with Ornn top lane. Little surprise. And yeah, I don't know what he wants to play against it. Maybe the Gnar. No, it's Pantheon. That's crazy actually. Pantheon is crazy.
Maybe he's got some. You just look into Pantheon. I don't think I've ever seen him play Pantheon.
Yeah, me neither. But I don't watch him too much. But like he plays him a lot on solo queue right now, so that's something to speak about. And with great success, won the last 2 games he played on it. So, and especially against most tanks, it's very good to play. There's one really high level and famous Pantheon top lane OTP who's called Spearshot. So probably Spearshot likes to play against Ornn, I don't know. But like this team comp, both sides just want to hard engage. And Diana, Pantheon maybe are less tanky than Maokai Ornn, but they will still dish out a lot of damage. And maybe the damage problem with just Ezreal, Azir, maybe one more damage dealer would have been great, but there could be a problem if Hitmonli falls behind. At the moment, they still have the chance to lane swap. I mean, they did it in the first game, right? They did it in their first series. So Snooze should expect it at least, and maybe ward it out. Maybe try to stack or something. Because Hitmonli already showed us that they will go for lane swap, and especially you probably want to dodge Pantheon against Ornn. And with that, lane swap would be great for them.
Always see how all that shapes up in this match Hitmonli versus Snooze Esports. What decisions will they take? I mean, we've seen Hitmonli already go for the swap for mechanics as well, and I'm unfamiliar with them. Maybe they've got something surprising up their sleeve once again.
Yeah, I hope so. They need to, because Hitmonli, especially now after rely on like getting a win against the Royal Fam, Hitmonli maybe looks like the weakest out of the bunch. So. Like I said, a weaker team usually needs to cheese, usually needs to do something interesting in the early game just to get a small edge over like stronger players. So I'm quite sure that Hitmonli has cooked something, especially with Bard level 1. I mean, you can maybe like do a sneaky journey somewhere. So if there's a 5-point cover, you can always try to journey behind someone. Like there's the option to just go for the Q stun and just find someone who's maybe AFK, who knows. Maokai Flash W, always a good level 1 play on someone, so I would do something in the early game as Hitmonli.
Yeah, I think they definitely have quite a few tools, and I think it's good you mentioned the Bard. Wait, I was sitting in a really bad spot. I really like to see Bard because it can bring so much to the table. It can bring, especially, it can bring so much chaos to the table, and that's one of the things where I think if you're able to, you know, bring some managed chaos to a game as an underdog going into it, that can play hugely in your favor. Because you can throw out some unexpected things that the enemy might not expect, and with that, you know, you have an edge over them or something like that. So that's definitely always an interesting pick to see, and I can't wait to see how they leverage that.
Yep.
We goes around the map.
Yeah, and yeah, Ezreal is a really safe laner, so there's always the potential to roam.
I was gonna say both teams, especially Hitmonli, they have over the whole map lots of agency, you know, across the board. You have a true shot barrage, and you have the Maokai, who's also got quite a wide range that he can access. Bard as well, of course, through the journey and so on. And on the sides of Snooze, it's not too bad either. You have the Pantheon that can always join into a fight rather quickly as well. So I think we'll see quite a lot of, you know, going over there, lots of mobility action on the longer range side of things.
Yeah, it's true. But on the other side, you also have like the Pantheon ult, so some like roaming potential there, some like global ulting, of course, also. So could be an interesting game. I guess now that we don't see the champ select anymore, we probably will step into the game soonish, and then I hope Hitmonli cooked something for us. We are on blue side, so maybe there's some sort of like going through bot lane, sneaking through, through the wall or something with like the bar journey, and then you can kind of split up if you want. So just two go through the bar journey, the other three like bait them from heads and stuff. There are things, and you already see the pings to the bot lane. So Hitmonli definitely wants to go for something.
Let's go. Hitmonli, show us what you've got in store as we're headed into the third game of tonight. They're facing Snooze Esports, runner-ups of last year, who've shown a very strong game against the Infernal Wolves earlier today. And seems like they baited you with those pings.
Yeah. I'm a bit sad, because there was some spam pings into this brush, but it is what it is. Right now, we already see like the lane swap basically with Ezreal top lane. I don't know if Snooze will spot it out. They saw the Bard, but Bard now moves top lane, so I don't think that they know it. And with that, Hitmonli is playing a lane swap. So they dodged like this top lane matchup, especially like it's a Knight Pantheon. So he kind of doesn't like to sit under the turret and do nothing. And now Bard even is collecting some stuff, but now they will see the Maokai probably through the ward. But I mean, he's jungler, so they will not care. And on his bot lane, so now it really is kind of a little race who can like poke out the enemy top laner a little bit more, who can get the tower dive done, etc.
I was gonna say, for either top laner, these are not fun matchups. You know, there is bot lane matchups that you could face as a top lane when you're like, okay, yeah, it's fine. But here, you're like against two of the most annoying poke-wise. It's just pain at that point.
Yeah, it really is. Probably a little bit easier to play for the Ornn, actually. Nautilus, Caitlyn. I mean, Nautilus will poke you, but the Nautilus really can't. So Caitlyn will, but Nautilus really can't. And hooking could be dangerous with Ornn W because he is unstoppable there. So if he times it correctly, then he can even try to kill the Nautilus under the turret, for example. So there are ways to survive as an Ornn. but also Pantheon later on with W can at least survive a tower dive, for example. So definitely interesting to see. And like jungle pathing will be really, really important. Do we see a dive or not? Maybe a midline dive.
And we're kind of lining up for it. He got really low already early, very early on Unreal from Frankie's damage.
Yeah. And both top liner kind of dropped a little bit, but that's expected. If you pushed under the turret and then there's a ranged champion, you will always try to get some auto attacks in. Ooh, the hook kind of connects the wall. And now both junglers are kind of ready for the dive, but Maokai doesn't.
There we have it, lots of damage falling onto Leorio. He's falling like a fly. First blood goes to Kinetic. And tower management was perfect. Chokes got out just in time.
Oh, well played. Really good tower dive. On the top side, there was no tower dive, so Sidukul didn't want to go for it. Even though Maokai is actually a good tower diving champion because he can swap turret aggro with his W. But they just did not want to do it. And the funny thing is that Team Shady even has a slight farm lead over Soldier Bow, so the whole lane swap actually is at the moment even in the favor of Snooze.
Yeah, and Chokes on the top lane to give Rakuzi a helping hand here. Around the corner, just in case.
Yeah, just to cover a potential tower dive, of course. And yeah, good W there, just to stopping a little bit of damage. But yeah, it's annoying to play against a poke champion like Ezreal.
Yeah, you just can't do much there. Like, once your wave is gone, it's just sheer pain. Do well. And the thing is that Team Shady being alone in the lane as well, he's able to hold his ground to rather easily against Leorio, so he's not going to lose as much XP as, for example, Soldier Boy should if Meo stays a long way with him. With Chokes roaming so much, I mean.
Yeah. Give me a second. I need to write something.
Joker just around the corner, shaping up for the turret dive for Kinetic. Is just around the corner as well, so that is a quick lead. The idea is quickly abandoned by Hitmonli. Drake is up. We have the first Void Grubs coming in soon as well. There's a few objectives to look at for teams. So far, very, very slow game going forward. Snooze rotating towards those Void Grubs. I think they did that their last game, the second game, the first game of today as well. The bot lane rotated toward those Void Grubs, and now a numerical advantage. Leorio is on the bot lane, he does not have flash. We have the first root, first kill goes to Kinetic once again. They're now at 2 kills for 0, and they're gonna grab themselves those Void Grubs.
Yeah, so total control at the moment by Snooze. Just nothing really happens on the side of Hitmonli, which is sad to see, but like everything at the moment is against them. And the fat Diana, oh man, that is not pleasant. I can tell you that. She can, like, later on melt turrets, for example, on the side lane, or just one-shot people with the ultimate. So you don't want to meet Kinetic in the jungle right now. Absolutely. Like it's a dark passage. Like it's 23 o'clock, and you just or 12 o'clock PM, and you just run through a dark city, and then there's this Diana. You don't want to say hello. That's all I want to say, right? And
a bad surprise for sure. And it's a champion that has got lots of agencies as well once it's got the lead, because she can push fast, she can shred through objectives as well, and her gangs are strong. There's like Diana with a lead is on all fronts a pure menace.
Yeah, and then she's tanky with her W balls, and yeah, it's just this champion, and now they even get the second object. So there was not even a cross-map play. Like sometimes one side goes for Drake, the other side goes for Void Crops basically. But this time there was just this catch on the art, and then they lost the first object, and then just a quick rotation from Snooze, and then they lost the second. So that's really bad. And now Rakuzi even got the upper hand in the 1v1. And if you just look at the farm right now from both ADCs, like they both played the 1v1 against the top laner, but good flash.
Yeah, good flash, gets rooted still and knocked back. This is looking dire for Tim Shady. Lots of damage falling onto him from both tanks, and his spot is not on time here.
Yeah,
but he still's got the CS lead. That is
true, he got it. And it was so well played by him, but I mean, it's two tanks, and they both committed flash, and they both committed basically all they had, except the Marco, so you cannot survive that as a Caitlyn, basically. But I mean, she got both flashes, and that's a little victory at least.
That's good for Hitmonli. They need to find the angles. I think they realized that Snooze came in with a very good plan against that. Like they turned this swap around kind of against them, ultimately. And they started setting the pace. They're taking a quick pace, you know, and they're leading the dance since the start. So Hitmonli needs to find some angles to kind of disrupt their rhythm here.
Yes, they do. And now, like, the next object basically should be next Void Grubbies or Drake. I think almost like identical from the time. But the game gets a little bit chilled again. Both top laners no meat, both bot lanes no meat. So we get a normal League of Legends game with just a small edge for Snooze. And I think they are pretty happy. I think both teams kind of have scaling. Ooh.
Yeah, the engage on the bot lane. The CC on Chokes is long enough, but he's able to extract himself, get a root into Marrow as now Kinetic comes around the corner. There's so much damage. Ace in the hole on the enemy support, and with that, they've cleared that situation masterfully.
Yeah, that was so great from Snooze. And especially, you don't need to forget, Sedoku engaged it. So he wanted to use his ultimate to engage it. I think even Mare used his Bard ultimate there. So
yeah,
they were the aggressor, and they lost the fight. So that was really bad for Hitmonli, because now they are really behind. Before that it was kinda behind now, but now I mean 4-0 Kinetic. Tim Shady got another plate and stuff. So that's really hard.
Kinetic with the 100% kill participation as lady carry. 1 kill and 4 assists. That's a bit sad, but well, the 4 kills on Kinetic, a prime target as well. Took the kills from his brother. Second set of Void Drops is there. Snooze got the first feat of strength. They're well set to get the second one, because if they get those Void Drops, and I don't think they're an issue for Kinetic, who's got his Leandris to clear. It's looking good for them.
That's true. No.
Call of the Forge Guard from Leorio is going to connect onto Rakuzi. Lots of damage on Pantheon player, but Kinetic just around the corner. Perfect situation for the Moonfall. Yes, he gets 2 people into it. Lots of damage. He's getting low midlife now, joined up by the bot lane and mid lane. We have the Emperor's Divide that I thought it blocked away here, but no, Chugs is able to get around. And in the end, Snooze falls back to finish those Void Drops.
Yeah, that works out for them. Crucial Barrage. Oh, good.
Barrage into Tempered Fate. Mirror is able to get a good angle for the Cupid. Gets rebuted immediately by Frankie. He's gonna die now. They fight the purchase onto the last player here, man. Unreal, and he dies as well. Oh no. It just got worse and worse.
I mean, it would have been a good play if there was follow-up, but you are a Bard, you are alone, and your Azir had like 200 HP or something. Oh, good warrior. So there was basically no follow-up. If there was a whole team behind you, then perfectly played by the Bard, but it just wasn't there. So just another kills, and you already see the feats of strength. So at the moment, Snooze got everything except 2 enemy kills, and yeah, they just snowball from here. I mean, 5k after 12 minutes. That's something.
Yeah. they're looking really strong overall in their game. We saw it against Infernal Wolves. We see it here again once again. 5-0 Kinetic, 3-0 on Frankie on his Mel. He's dealing so much damage as well. He's even got a 20 CS lead on his counterpart. They're having a really good game here.
That's true. And now the Drake is spawned, so probably Kinetic, I mean, he can just rush it down. There's no problem. Actually, Diana went for the Liantris usually, or most Dianas also go for Nashor's Tooth. Just it fits so well into like the whole kit, like just faster attack speed and stuff. But against this front line, probably Maokai and Ornn, some more tank damage, for example, in total is also like a good call. So, and it makes her a little bit more tanky, so she's kind of the bruiser.
Flash to dodge Call of the Forge Guard. Recruzy on the fire here in a tough situation, but Frankie comes around off the corner. Is he going to be able to survive? No, he doesn't, but Frankie deals so much damage. Now he's alone against Leoria. You don't want to be in the phase of attack. Flashes away from the Emperor's Divide because that could have been dangerous for him. That's overall a 1-for-1.
Yeah, that was a good flash from Frankie. And the tank boys again fought and found one target.
Here comes Kinetic along with Chokes, finds Moonfall onto I'm Unreal with the depth charge. Everything onto the AP carry, just ignore the top laner.
Yeah, that's sad. I mean, I like that they are still fighting. Like even the Bard play where he ulted 2 and went in without follow up. That's just the sign that Hitmonli still keeps fighting, still keeps trying to do the best play. And the tank pros, they are all again on the chase, but there comes the Pantheon ultimate again.
Yeah, here comes the Pantheon from behind. Soldier Boy forced to Arcane Flash over the wall. Cedric already really fast, is able to get out of this burning situation here.
Yeah, important that they kind of saved their bot lane there with the Pantheon. And now even top lane looks like undefended, so maybe Kinetic and Frankie can just take the whole turret there. I mean, you have Ornn TP, but I don't know if you want to teleport there, but there's no wave to deal with the whole turret, I guess. So they will still be able to defend it, but maybe with the next wave. Oh, if Kinetic tries it, he gets it. Perfect.
Just tank it. It doesn't need a wave. Kinetic doesn't need a wave.
Yeah, like I said, Diana loves taking turrets. I mean, so many auto attacks, the AP scaling makes the auto attacks stronger, of course. So, fast attacking AP carries just really likes to take turrets.
And now Recruzy getting caught again. Still dishing out lots of damage, but I don't think this time around he's going to get away.
Yeah, and Hitmonli finds again one pick. So, it's kind of like with Rely on a Royal Family, right? Where sometimes those Royal Family members got caught because they were over eager, and in this case, probably is not helping too much. 6k gold still after 60 minutes, so I wouldn't believe that Hitmonli gets the comeback here, but I like that they fight, and I like that they try their best. And yeah, there's maybe hope. I mean, Pantheon has no ultimate, has no teleport. You are 4 versus 4 basically, but yeah, no chance to steal it.
Yeah, they need to find those picks, and if they find an angle through a pick or get an objective, that's huge because they've got the objective bounties. So nothing's off the table, of course. Snooze are in a very comfortable lead, 6k gold, 2 dragons, they've got the Void Grubs, they just got the Herald. These are really solid grounds to get ahead, but I mean, we're not unfamiliar to upsets. The situation can be changed in a matter of seconds. 2 bad fights or 2 good fights for Hitmonli, and they could turn it around. They just need to play this well.
Yeah. And I mean, Hitmonli has a great pick composition, but in total, like a great pickup champion, but also like the Shurima shuffle from Azir or the long range ultimates from Maokai and Ornn. Like, if you see someone, you can try to catch them, right? And They are unmobile champions. Like, Pantheon can never dodge it, Mel can never dodge it. But the funny thing of Mel, actually, especially against Ornn Maokai, she's probably always safe because the roots should be a skill shot, right? And even the great big bull, she can just throw it back to Ornn, probably.
Yeah.
So she should be safe, at least, from the long range engage. But if you see Caitlyn, just try it, I guess, right? Or if you see the Diana being a little bit too far forward, then you have so many catch tools, and Diana and Mel have those shutdowns on their heads, so there's maybe even the chance to get a little bit comeback gold.
They're looking really juicy right now with this 500 shutdown. That would stop Snooze in their tracks a bit, because they've set the pace at the start and they've now kept on going. They're keeping Hitmonli on the tiptoes. Like, they didn't give them much room, but maybe if you upset that sort of balance that Snooze is starting to lull into, that could be grounds to change it. The Drake is up, Snooze rushes to it, Kinetic is going to shred through it. That's going to be so point for Snooze. Of course, it's going to hurt quite a lot. But we have a turret being made on the top lane, for example, in the meantime. That's objective bounty getting to their pocket as well. That's a good move. Yeah, maybe the catch. Rakuzi forced to flash into the bush instead of gonna find purchase with the W. Nope. But that is the sort of thing that they should do, and they do well to make that. Soldier Boy now on the fire under the turret. He's gonna get tower dive. Gets lots of damage out of him. Chokes. However, Rebutal on the true shot barrage. Now Kinetic coming to finish the job, and he's off.
Yeah, but Caitlyn now out of position. Okay, flashing away. Ooh, Frankie has a shutdown.
Between Leorio and Mero is in a tough spot, but Kinetic and Chokes around the corner to help him out. We now have Tim Shady able to dish out the ace in the hole. Frankie really low is gonna survive thanks to the Rebutal so far, as the situation is kind of turned around. They take up the kill against him, unfortunately on their support. Sedokal now finishes off Chokes as well, ends up dying at the hands of Tim Shady. So they got the kills, they got some shutdown, that's good. But they got it on the wrong people. Meanwhile, Tim Shady, who didn't have many kills yet, just really good CS, gets 2 kills. Rakuzi in the meantime on the top lane takes tier 2 probably. He's just gonna ignore Soldier Boy. So ultimately in the end it turned out to be more beneficial to Snooze.
That's true. Rakuzi could die here, actually, against Soldier Boy. Ah, he doesn't want to chase, but he has just 1 health. I would have chased. I would have chased so much. I mean, does he really think that Rakuzi one-shots on 100 to 0?
Hey! Two-shot barrage.
He didn't chase to cape him in the false hope, right? Yeah. Rakuzi thought, oh yeah, he doesn't chase, I'm safe, I backboard. And then there was a ward. Without the ward, probably wouldn't have guessed the snipe, but crazy.
Just a true mastermind.
Just look at the stats. Like, everybody is snowballing from Snooze except Rakuzi, 0 and 4.
Rakuzi is not having the best of his days, as now Hitmonli turns over to finish off at Takana. They're going to be on time to get it before Snooze can steal it. Yes, they do to get the objective bounty, and now the team fight is all out. Very nice Empress divide, as the things is looking good for Hitmonli. They take 1 first shutdown on their AD carry, they keep on going. Soldier Boy dishing out damage together with Arm Unreal. Mirror comes from behind. Tim Shady getting really low. They have the revive, of course. They get another shutdown. Now have to be careful because they're gonna get finished off. But this was a really good fight for Hitmonli.
Yeah, it's basically, I think it was a whole ace, but the whole ace was just 1k gold basically for Snooze. And on the other side, they got the shutdown. They got, I think, 4 kills basically. So it was worth gold-wise. They denied the Atakan. They got the Atakan. I mean, that's crazy. Ornn is ahead. I mean, okay, it's not too important, and all the others are basically behind, but Ornn is ahead. Just think about it.
They got huge shutdown on the AD carry, and that's huge because Soldier Boy so far is actually having a really good game. I mean, before this he was 2-1, now 4-1. He's behind in CS to his counterpart. But that's fine-ish. In gold, he's doing fine currently, and we've seen that he's got it on him in this fight.
Yeah, that's totally true. Drake is spawning in 1 minute also, and Ultra Boy needs to be a little bit careful. There's an angry little Diana, but
Yeah.
she got beaten once. I mean, there is a hope, and like those front to back comms with all the CC from On, from Maokai, even the shove from Asia there to keep Kinetic away. I mean, they can win team fights. It was a 4v5. They were in the perfect position, and like I mean, and they got the Guardian Angels, but it was a perfect fight from them basically.
Yeah, they played this really well. It shows them that they have an angle. If they take the right fights at a good moment, they can win. I just don't think this is it, because right now they seem maybe a bit too over-eager after what just happened topside. Because Snooze is 5-man up. They still have a 4k gold lead, which is considerable, and 3 drakes. So they have to be really careful here, Hitmonli. That's already important. Careful, here comes the engage from Rakuzi with the ulti. Sedokal is just saving so much damage. Rebutal on the ram! But it is used against them themselves. Nobody falls except Rakuzi. So far, it's still looking good for Hitmonli. Sedokal was able to get away really, really low. Comes back into range. Have to be careful as now it's Kinetic who goes into the back line. And with that, they should be cooked. He's on to them. Double kill goes to Tim Shady. 2 members down from Hitmonli for 1 of Snooze. And they go now for that Drake.
It was the perfect tempered fate from Mirror. I mean, at the second, tried, but, I mean,
I really hoped he got it.
Was a good try. At the moment where Pantheon landed in the team, one versus 5, tempered fate just denied all the other 4. So it was basically one versus 5 at the second. It was really crazy, but and I mean it was a 4v5 teamfight after that. But then, I mean, after you don't have any lockdown on Kinetic, he will just out DPS you anyway. So, and then they had no follow-up, they had no engage after that. So they couldn't really chase them down, they couldn't really CC Kinetic. But it was a close team fight in a better world. You could have 1 or 2 knows. Oh, teleport, they want to fight it. I love Hitmonli. They try their best always and always. And yeah.
Frankie under threat here. Yeah, it doesn't end up with a kill for them, unfortunately. But they're gonna shove that wave in. I think they could get that turret on the bot lane. That could be huge to get that shutdown money again. That objective bounty, I mean. Baron is up as well. Seems like Snooze is starting to take an interest in that next map objective. Frankie is back on the bot lane to shove that wave out again, though. Things are getting tense again. There's nothing major is going on.
Yeah, but there's soul points or there's soul already collected, and especially someone like Kinetic, someone like Rakuzi. Oh, Rakuzi ulted in.
Ooh, in the mid lane, Sedokal in the middle of Snooze. Now Rakuzi finds further purges with his own ultimate, but that's already 1 member down, and that's the jungler down, most importantly. So that just opens the gates wide open for that Baron.
That is true. And in the meantime, Frankie on the bot lane, so even he will probably get something. It's a 4v4 because of that. On ultimate is still up, tempered fate still up. They can try to go for it. There comes Smell Teleport.
Damage falling down. They pick up the Baron. Here we have all of the Forge Guard. Lots of damage falling onto Churks, but now Kinetic is able to connect. He goes in. 3 people in the Moonfall. Nice Empress Divide coming in from Unreal, but Soldier Boy on the fire takes lots of damage from Tim Shady. They're forced to split up, and essentially Hitmonli is just strewn across the Summoners Rift. Another member down. And Snooze can just regroup onto that mid lane with the Baron, and a wave that is sort of very small, 2 minions, but the next wave is right behind Tim Shady. Takes down Soldier Boy, keeps on going on to Sedokal into the enemy base. Mero back from the fountain. It's a double kill for Tim Shady, and I think with that Snooze takes their 2nd victory.
That is correct. Snooze, undefeated so far.
Mm-hmm.
3-0. They're looking really, really strong. And yeah, they want the offline event. They want it.
They want it for sure. Third win for them. Second today. Today is a good day for Snoozes out there. They're sitting at 3-0 with that ahead on top of the leaderboards for now at least. But they still have two very tough matchups ahead of them for this first half because they haven't faced Red World yet. They haven't faced World Family yet.
Yeah.
Two very strong teams. So those will be very interesting matches, I think, that we'll have ahead of us for next week in any case. Without any further ado, all Nance next matchup will have Relion, who've surprised us once today. Will they be able to upset against Redwood as well? We'll see that very soon after a short break. See you.